Previously on Master Skug Kitchen, I documented each enemy of Rainworld to decide which of these creatures would make the perfect Master Skug dish. After properly analyzing my options, the winners had been decided, and that was my job well done. In my travels across the multiverse, I soon uncovered new and fascinating creatures. A brand new palette of colors awaited me. I knew what this meant. The main course was over. Now it's time for dessert. What's more on Master Skug Kitchen? Hey again, livers. Did you miss me? Last time I had gone through each creature in Rainworld, based a dish off of them, and ranked each one. While we are doing something very similar again today, there is a twist. Everything I create this time around will be a dessert. But since this DLC has a smaller amount of new creatures than both Vanilla and Downpour combined, I will also be assigning each plate an entree from the original roster that will be redesigned to fit the overall theme of the dish. I will also be posting this tier list to the public, which will be available in the description below, so you can make your own. But anyway, enough stalling, let's get cooking. I predicted this little ghost survival way back in the first video. What a time that was, huh? While I think the original concept I had was pretty alright, I think I'm gonna make something new this time. For dessert this time around, I have created peeper cookies, a dark chocolate dough with a velvety purple crust, filled with macadamia nuts and spiritual prowess. One bite and you're pretty sure there was more there a second ago. Oh well. Eating these cookies as the Watcher would be a quick way to go invisible immediately, because I based them off the Watcher. Now these cookies are great and all, but we need something savory to go with it. So on the side, I have created bat fly tots. These salty, crispy treats are the perfect counterbalance for the nutty zest of the peeper cookies. Who wouldn't want some tots and cookies for lunch? This meal is perfect for your little brother or someone who hasn't been mentally stable since 2012. A tier. Alright, new lizards. Starting out strong with the indigo lizard. I can actually look at these little guys, and I think it's safe to say that they're pretty darn adorable. So we're eating him. After some long preparation, we are left with an indigo mud pie. This sugary pie is sure to stain your teeth and leave a mark on your soul forever. Best to brush them as soon as you're done. Your teeth, I mean, not your soul. For an entree, let's go with something familiar. To counter the bright and sugary vivid colors of the ink pie, I prepared a white lizard burger. After grilling the lizard meat to perfection, a lot of the nervous system has been killed, so the meat can no longer color shift. But it still leaves a hearty taste and juicy meat. Decorate your burger however you'd like. We are grilling this evening. A tier again. Some substances require a bit more precise living situation. Much like baking, I think. The swampy root pie, sure to give others a nauseous experience. A mixture of sugary pie and fungal stalks and meat fat. Basilisk hide has a slow-acting poison, but the flesh underneath is tender and tastes like rhubarb. Of course, the toxin of the lizard is not entirely gone. While you aren't at risk of muscle poisoning anymore, you will start seeing things that probably aren't actually there. Don't listen to the voices in the pie. They have no culinary practice. Of course, a rooty and spicy pie like this can't just be served alone. It's best to ingest this dessert after a nicely grilled cyan burger. The patties must be done medium well. Anything less than that and the patty will taste of Monster Energy and probably fly out of the bud. Whichever is more devastating is up to you. Points deducted from the voices, B tier. Quite a temperature change, don't you think? It was boiling hot a second ago. The essence and general presence of this lizard is enough to freeze over hell a second time. When preparing something so cold, it will have to start cold, then really hot, and then cold again. In the end, we have made a key lime blizzard pie. Don't get anxious on eating it fast, because this dish will stay near frozen for hours on end. It's the perfect treat for a hot summer's day inside your house. So for the entree to this chilly treat, it needs a meat broiling to counter the bittersweetness of it all. So I've made a red lizard burger. It's back, baby, and better than ever. This ain't no normal meat. This is the burger for winners. And this burger will make your muscles rip, your chest hair grow, your forehead larger, and your respect for women grow intensely. Hey dear. Aw, big ant guy. I kinda like these things actually. They're gross and funny looking. Surely their name makes sense. What? Well, anyway, nothing here has to really make sense, I guess. These giant bottom-feeding doodle bobs are carrying enough decomposed mush to feed the starving slug pups of the outer expanse. We have the Loach Fudge, your ideal holiday treat. It tastes like sugary, muddy sink water. Great for people you're tired of seeing. Grandma asking why you're not married yet? Uncle making obscene comments about your career? Little cousin asking if you know what skibbity toilet is? They won't talk to you now. Of course, with every trashy, fucked up fudge recipe. I'm debating if I change that to fudged up fuck recipe. You need a counteract. So maybe toss in some centipede pizza. Or centipizza, a pun that took me 2 seconds to think of. Cheesy, spicy, meaty, and a real heart stopper. Really, it is. C tier. Oh boy. New scavs! Actually, I was quite surprised to see new scavs. I figured they just make elites more common, but no. Sabaton scavs. Even better. If honor is what they seek, then I will provide them with the most honorable thing I can. Scav bacon maple donut with edible gold. Do you feel it? Your arteries clenching in fear? Has quite a hearty taste and pairs very well with the sugary, sappy taste of the maple donut. Which is perfect, because without the salty balance, it would indeed cause multiple cavities to miraculously spawn in more than just your mouth. Both because this has exactly 80 grams of sugar, and because the scavs swore an oath to find you after death, but that's besides the point. So to pair the scav donut, we have scav ribs. Only makes sense to pair the two, after all. It's a perfect meal to share with your battle brothers, or eat by yourself, I don't care. S tier. Little rats. While I did feel bad for eating the rats initially, I do have to remember that the Watcher is basically just a cat. The food chain persists, and these little Subway Smurfers are no exception, which is why I've created rat bonbons. The sweet creaminess of the chocolate persists, but still tastes vaguely of dirt and sewage. But wait, there's more. The taste of rat doesn't end there. Before you dig into the rat bonbons, we're serving an entree of lantern mouse charcuterie, a variety of brightly colored meats, orange mold cheese, and crackers. Because a ratatouille joke wasn't funny. B tier, the rat persists. These gentle behemoths are an endangered species on this side of the world. And yes, I know, I can be seen as a very genocidal, pyromaniac, and aggressive individual, and you'd be correct, but I feel very strongly about animal endangerment laws and believe in the safety of the sky whales and allowing them to roam our skies. So instead, we will be carefully milking this animal. How do I milk it, you ask? The fattiness of the dairy that this beautiful creature produces makes for an excellent sky whale cheesecake. This cake is sweet, creamy, and has a pink tint, and is unimaginably fatty, because despite its delightful purity, eating more than a single sliver is already enough to kill you from calorie overdose. But hey, it's the sweetest death I currently have to offer. For the entree, there's nothing more fitting than barbecue reindeer chops, a savory meat to counteract the sweetness of the cheesecake. Hey, maybe even drown it down with some pomegranate ale, and you got yourself a meal of champions. S tier, we're eating good for the rest of our lives. Now we move on to our pod arc, which includes creatures of arthropods, tetrapods, gastropods, and this thing. Starting off, we have the sandworms, which I've always envisioned to be like bobbit worms, which if you don't know what that is, you should look it up right now. They're adorable, trust me. Anyways, these disgusting extensive strangle strings have proved to be quite an unexpected nightmare. Because of their long size, you can make several instances of the sand churro, all from the same body. These treats are crispy on the outside and gooey on the inside. Peanut butter? No! That's worm curd! Dip these in a nice bittersweet chocolate and you have the perfect night on the town. They have a nice faint cinnamon sugar coating. To counter the gooey filling of these crunchy nightmare treats, I have provided an assortment of spider leg tacos. Crunchy, munchy, salty, like a shrimp taco. The perfect balance of flavor, texture, and trauma. Just what every kitchen needs. C tier. So right off the bat, fuck these things. I think I speak for the gross majority of the community when I say that the barnacles resonate with the energy of someone who won't move in line despite there being plenty of space to move, so it gets what it deserves. Considering the only true way to destroy and consume the barnacle is with explosives, I figured the concept of drying, crushing, and then nougating these little fucks was quite appropriate, served in the remains of its own shell. How did I get the shell to stay intact? Magic, don't worry. The nougats aren't super sweet, but have a pistachio-y flavor to them, as well as the crustacean remains scattered inside each bar. You could even wrap these up and give them out as Halloween candy. Just don't tell the kids it's barnacle they're eating. Or do, why not, it'd be funny. Next to this arrangement of mobility, you can enjoy some jellyfish soup. an arrangement of orange mold, jellyfish meat, seawater, and salamander eggs. Extremely salty, soupy, rich with protein, great for your bones, terrible for your blood pressure. B tier. The avatar of Pestilence has sent me a messenger, and his name is Frog. Frogs are eaten around the world a lot more than people think. Of course, that doesn't mean that they're good. I mean, I wouldn't know, I'm just guessing here. But in the theme for the frog, I think it's only fair to make froggy dirt pudding. Not actual dirt, of course, it's just cocoa crumbles and chocolate. The frog, however, is real. This chocolate pudding would have tasted fine until the essence of swamp water and caustic drainage has seeped out of the frog's underbelly, making this pudding still taste like pudding, but pudding that probably would have been better without the dead frog sticking out of it. I mean, hey, someone's gonna eat this, though. Ain't gonna be me, though. Even if you decide not to eat the frog grave, you can still at least enjoy it with some vulture grub bratwursts, coated in some brown mustard, ketchup, sauerkraut, and pickles. Now you got yourself exactly what social media thinks German cuisine looks like. Terrible! D tier. Buzzing today, isn't it? Well, catching these locusts isn't too hard. Just stand in their general vicinity and they come swarming after you. Why? You smell bad. Take a shower. They will be kept in sealed containers for several hours until they are properly incapacitated. Then we can use them for locust rock candy, a goofy treat to show your friend who eats anything. Oh yeah? You eat anything, huh? Eat this then. Eat it. Well, you can't. I'm not real. Comes in a variety of flavors like cherry, watermelon, grape, and blue. The only proper way to counter the feast of an annoying creature that makes traversion annoying is to pair it with another annoying creature that makes traversion annoying. Wormgrass curry is exactly what I need. It's spicy, aromatic, squishy, and both have stopped wiggling long ago. Thank fucking God, C tier. Okay, moth. No, not you. You. Insectoid freak, whom I thought was gonna be some beautiful archangel, but no, it's a vampiric turtle with the neuron activity of a mattress. The utter size of this big moth is something I'm thankful for because it means its eggs must be of average size, which is great because we are using both the eggs and the wings for moth egg tarts and angel wings. The egg tart is gooey and has the texture of wet moss, not as sweet compared to other desserts, but still has a very yolky texture. The angel wings are much crunchier and are dusted with a generous amount of powdered sugar, more akin to crackers. It's hard to even tell they're bug wings. You could even dip the angel wings in the egg tarts for a delicious combination. This is great for a romantic date atop a sunset picnic. Yeah, girl, I made us some special tarts for tonight, made with love. Oh, that's beautiful. I've never felt so close to someone before. Wait, why am I pretending to do a woman's voice when I am one? After you suck the blood out of her, balance this dish with an entree of lemon dill vulture breasts. You know, you probably should have eaten those before because, you know, the egg tarts are dessert and all, but that's just you jumping to conclusions again. You sick fuck. Now you got eggs in you. A tier. What the fuck is this thing supposed to be? Like, actually, what the hell is this? It's probably based off some sort of symbiotic worm or nothing at all, and if that's the case, congrats, Rainworld art team, for making something so fucking weird that I genuinely cannot tell what its resources are. Instead of improvising with its meat? The larva will be seasoned, wrapped into a bun, and then steamed in its own carcass. For a cozy, warm, and homey box bean bun. Grab a couple out of the steamer, put on your favorite shows, and some Fire Sprite boba soda. The sizzling static of the Fire Sprite carbonates the drink for you. It tastes like Baja Blast, and Blue Powerade had some sort of weird baby. Don't ask how I did this, or else you could do it too. And I don't want that. The best way to tie this meal all together is with some jetfish stir-fry. Altogether, it's a cozy meal for people who just need to make it through this semester. S tier. I hope they don't fix these goofy fucking crabs. Now, technically what I'm making isn't by definition a dessert, it's an appetizer, but with how many of them I eat all at once, they might as well be one in this scenario. Drill crab rangoon, a delicious fried mixture of cream cheese, drill crab, and other stuff. 1 or 2 is the intended amount for consumption, but if you're like me, you're not getting 3 of these. You're getting 30. You will be getting, and eating, a lot more than you intended. You will soon regret that decision, but time will come around when it will happen all over again. It's the perfect balance of sweet, salty, and they're best eaten straight out of the fucking fryer. Dessert, appetizer, main dish, who cares? But the intended entree for this delicious crusade is none other than grilled in teriyaki drapwig on a stick. The texture is still a little indecisive, but a lot firmer than it was before. And the seasonings make up for it. A tier. Oh my god, little itty bitties, little sea slugs, little nudie tardigrades. Is that what you just said? Is that what you're typing right now? Opting those are called tardigrades? No. No, they're not. No. I don't care what the code says. I don't care what the wiki says. No. This is a tardigrade, this is a nudibranch. The wiki also says that they're called sea pigs or sea bunnies, but to be honest, it's probably a combination of the two, but I can tell you what they are, and it's fucking tardigrade! I've created an assortment of multicolored sea macarons. One bite of these alluring treats is enough to make your heart stop beating because I could not get the poison out no matter how hard I tried. Don't worry, no nudibranchs were harmed during the making of this dish. I carefully collected excess shells that I presume they must have shedded off while exiting the larval stage. But you know what you don't get to die from? The noodle fly fettuccine, coated in a cheese sauce, seasoning, veggies, and even more unsuspecting guilt. At least this one doesn't kill you. Physically, that is. Points deducted for the mental obliteration and literal neurotoxin. D tier. How comforting the hug of death truly is. The sight of a dinner rush epoch. But there is still decay to muster. The beginning of this demise demonic is the bone shaker. Bone shaker? That's what it's called? What the hell, sure. Rattler, as otherwise known as. This chitinous capsule hides its succulent meat from me. Once carving out the inner rot, the rattlers can be hollowed out, and its remained skeletal vase can be used to hold the new and improved rat sorbet, a cold, bitter, gourd-like taste, with licorice tendrils carefully decorating it. A beautiful gift for a beautiful friend. And of course, how else do you celebrate the start of a new friendship other than rot stickers? Long leg pot stickers. They're warm, crunchy, and filled with black mold. You will die making this. And eating this. Of course, that's all part of the process, you see. That's what this whole thing is about. We're celebrating. E tier. Back to the reptiles. How much they've improved! Rotted lizards could be any lizard. Once the lizard has been consumed by the rot, they start to have a similar texture when cooked, which is mush. That flesh has a tendency to completely fall apart when too much stress is applied. This can make the procedure difficult. But that doesn't stop me from creating the rot cobbler. The mushed bundle of texture, berries, meats, and other decomposed substances struggle to maintain a proper shape. So it's better to eat this in a bowl or a very wide plate. Otherwise, it will get everywhere. Whenever it's trying not to crawl away, that is. But the taste is as one would expect. Bitter, mucousy, mulchy, and a strange alcoholic aroma. No amount of sugar could get the taste of mold out of this pie. The bread tastes pretty good, though. Of course, the only way to consume this wretched meal is with the heinous sloppy lizard, an amorphous combination of several types of lizard meat, alongside a buttered rot corn plant. It seems that just being in the same area as the rot cobbler was enough to infect both dishes. So even if you had the iron stomach needed to tank the rot pie, meat clump, and corn on macabre, it's best to just leave it to our prince instead. E tier again, this isn't for you. Oh no, my ants! They've been consumed. You are what you eat is really hitting hard this time. Well, I've discussed the process of harvesting and foraging the loaches last time. How hard could it be this time? It was bad. So harvesting the substance of the loach will be a bit harder this time, considering now it's just walking detritus. However, I will say, unlike its healthy counterpart, the rat behemoth couldn't maintain its fudgy texture and ended up being quite gelatinous. So instead I've created rat jello squares. This time the sink water flavor has evolved into a mysterious body you found floating in the river water flavor, which is significantly worse. The last one was to get your relatives to leave you alone. This one is to have them leave you alone forever. But hey, it's a great treat if you're a fucking zombie or something. Similar to the alive loach's entree, we will have pizza again, only this time it's deep dish aqua pizza. There's no reason for pizza to be this wet. Normally it's because of the grease, but it's not grease this time. It's just water. D tier. D for delicious. Do not question how I managed to acquire these phantoms and let alone keep them in this dimension. That is between me and my dentist. But otherwise, don't worry, because these googly ghosts have long since passed. Life's a big Agario game to them, and I'm taking advantage of that, because at the end of the day, they're all the same in my cotton ripple candy. Tastes of emotions I haven't unlocked yet. A texture so fluffy, but all so non-corporeal. The abyssal fair food is mysterious and delicious, if only getting your hands on it wasn't so difficult. Otherwise, the forbidden cloud would be magnificent, but eat it fast though. Way too long and eventually it'll planeswalk out of here and getting it back is basically impossible. But you know what would go great with this terrible day at the fair? None other than Guardian cheesy pretzels. The absence of the Guardian's internal wiring has been reformed into a salty, puffy dough, coated in an elaborate void cheese. This journey to hell has given you its sentinels, and boy, they are full of sin and carbohydrates. B tier. Well, here we are again, at the end of the road that stopped centuries ago. The reminiscence of something so dark, so otherworldly, so dead. I suppose watching the once assumed avatars of the broken cycle become consumed by the touch of oblivion is in of itself a work of art. What more can one ask for? The start and end of it all. Life and death dancing in an inky sea of endless nothing. The cake of rotworm, a meal so forbidden, so gone and blasphemous. Tastes of permanent sour, cruel demise. Yet it is a taste that never leaves. The cake never leaves. You never leave. None of us have ever left. This era of broken gods is behind us. And life will be born anew. But first the end must take its hold. The cycle must be broken. The journey must be complete. What better way to finish this decaying pilgrimage than with something not toppled or mastered? Something never forgotten or anguished. It can only be... Yeek. That was weird. I blacked out there for a second. What the fu- Oh my gosh! Well, I didn't expect to be able to do this a second time. It was just about as fun as the last one. Wonderful. Well, as always, that's all forever on Master Scug Kitchen. Bye-bye.